Well, hey y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess, and today we are going into the Frugal Living Challenge 25, which is an open collaboration through the end of the year. And you can jump on board anytime you like if you want to participate in this. All you have to do is use the hashtag Frugal Living Challenge 25 and tag my channel. And there is an official playlist that you can also attach to your videos, and it is in my description box below this video. So today we went to a thrift store and we found a find on Facebook Marketplace we could not pass up. What did we find? And I'm going to tell you a little bit of a backdrop story about what happened in Selmer, Tennessee on April 3rd of 2025. First off, I want to tell you that you need to always be prepped and ready because these items are a prepper's dream and a homesteader's dream as well, because we never know when our power is going to go out. Our uh, we may have an economic collapse and we have no food sources available to us, public food sources. So we got some really great deals this week. I think we spent about $65 total. We don't go out and do these as often as we used to, but when you come across a really good buy, you want to do something. So the backdrop to this is that Selmer had a tornado in 2025. It was an EF3 and it swept through Selmer, Tennessee in the early morning hours, leaving a lot of folks unaware of there being any danger in the area. 5 people lost their life, and McNairy County, which is just a few counties over from me, suffered massive damage, mostly to private homes, but also to one of our favorite thrift stores called Jesus Cares. Jesus Cares had just recently built some tiny homes to help some people, and some of those structures were damaged. They have finally repaired those, and I do believe they have people living in those again. But their building was totally erased. It was so damaged that they couldn't salvage much, I don't think. But they moved to another location. They reopened their store, and from what I understand, they are in the process of rebuilding on the site where that tornado hit. So y'all be praying for these people. It has been a long, hard road for Selmer folks, my neighbors, and I want to tell you a little more about that. Uh, the wind speeds was 160 miles per hour, and it damaged 332 structures. The cleanup has been extremely slow. They are finally getting some of the streets and cleaned up from all the debris that was left over. It has been really slow getting the money coming in to take care of these issues. My husband and I were concerned about rodents and snakes getting into these piles that were laying on the streets and causing another issue. People still have tarps on their roofs. It is just a really bad situation. So, with that said, I'm going to bring out some of the items we found at this local thrift store. And we did spend about $25 total. I don't have all the items here in front of me, but I do have some of the items that we really were excited about. So, one of my favorite prepper items is a pantry item or a canner's dream is finding glass jars. And I always tell people keep your glass jars because they were getting very, very scarce. But I found a box, and I'm going to set these here, and I'm going to have to lower my camera so you can see them. There, maybe you can still see me. But found the box for $5, and so I got jelly jars. There's actually 3 of these iced tea mugs. And I haven't even sorted through this. So I have no idea how many I'm going to get out of this box. And then I got one of these old zinc lids, canning lids, and I will use this on a very old jar and probably put it on display. But isn't that neat? That's glass inside of that. I'm going to set that aside. We got pint jars. There's a very old mason jar with an anchor on it. So all kinds of little jars in here. Another drinking glass, but I don't know if I would use that because it's colored. I might use it for a flower vase. We also got some quart jars. Some more. That's another mason half pint jar. So I'm really excited about this, and I'm probably not going to get them all on this table because it is just filled. It is a huge box for $5, y'all. $5. That one's got a really neat. This is another mason jar, but it's got a paisley design on the side. Never seen that one before. This one was a mason apple butter jar. More jars. A little half pint. A half-gallon jar, which we love having half-gallon jars. I'm going to have to pull another table over. Let me move these over so we can have a little more room to finish out the box. So, some more pints. Another apple butter. The Dutch kettle apple butter. I don't know if I can fit the canning lids on these, but I think I can. I've got one here. It works. Another quart. There's 2 quarts. Another one of those Dutch. This one was pumpkin butter. I like the labels on those. Those are pretty cute. Another half pint. Another mug. Another mug. And some more half pints. There's another mug in here. We love these mugs, by the way. We use those. That's what we drink out of. And another apple butter jar. Where's my band? It works. A pimento jar, and I love these for spices. They're just the perfect size. As a matter of fact, I need one because I'm going to be taking some of my okra powder down to one of the Amish ladies to try and see if she likes that. And I told her I would be glad to grind up her okra for her, powder it up, jar it up, and bring it back to her. So we got several mugs in this one. I don't use these in the canner, but we will drink out of them. And another quart, a couple more jars, another pint, and they were smart. They used a peanut butter jar lid on that jar. And another pint and another one of these mugs. So we really racked up for $5, y'all. These will come in handy. They look like they're all in really good shape. But I always check the rims, the seams around the top and the bottoms of my jars before canning with them. And to show you what these were in, I also have a crate, a big crate, with a sticker on it saying $5. I know it's kind of hard to see on camera, but it was $5. And I could store my jars upside down in this when they're clean and have them ready to can with. Of course, I still rewash them, but it keeps the dust out of the bottoms of the jars with chances of less scratching inside your jars and less chances of breaking. Let me get this cleaned up. I've got more to show you. So in that box for $5 was 13 pint jars, 4 quart jars, 9 half pint jars, 2 quarter pint jars, 3 pint mugs, 6 quart mugs, a half-gallon jar, and 1 pimento jar. Plus, I got the crate to put my jars in. Do you think I got my money's worth? Also at Jesus Cares, we picked up a few odds and end items. Got this nice little tool. I'm thinking this is Pioneer Woman. I'm not sure, but it was 50 cents, and it's a very sharp blade on the end. Let me know in comments what it is. I'm curious to know exactly what this is for in the kitchen. It's either for slicing cheese or vegetables or something. I'm not sure. But I thought it was really cute. I said, well, we'll get it for 50 cents. I'm also on the lookout for candle holders for Christmas. And these were $1 each. See the price inside. And I thought they were really pretty. They're the crystal, real heavy crystal candles, so they're not going to tip over easy. And I'm going to be using these with my gingerbread Christmas coming up. So I'm really excited about those. Really in good shape. I love using natural light, like candles, in Christmas, but I'm really careful about using those. I'm thinking that these are probably another one of the Pioneer Woman things, but it is a spoon set. I'm actually going to take them off. They got them on a bread tie because each one of them has a different shape at the top. That one's got hearts. This one's got a little bird. This one's got flowers of some sort. And this one's got butterflies. And I've been looking for these because I want to get rid of the plastic in my kitchen as much as possible. And believe it or not, I got that set for $1. Unbelievable. The last item that we picked up there, and we did pick up a few other items, was a roasting pan. Now, I didn't really need a roasting pan, but y'all, if the economy ever fails and you're going to need items to barter with, and you've got a place to store things like this, this would be a good barter item for someone. It's an enameled roasting pan for $5, and it's in really good shape. Really good shape. So I checked inside and outside to make sure everything was in good shape. And this is how we used to roast our turkeys and hams and chickens. And this one is made in the USA. It's right here underneath the handle. It says USA on it. So it's made in the USA as well. Do you think I got a good bargain on these items? I think I did. These next items were from the marketplace, and the lady was cleaning out her attic, and she wanted to just get rid of them, and we got a really good bargain on these. But I want to tell you the backstory to these. This year, my mother would be 103 years old if she was still living, and my father would be 97. And both of them grew up under the light of a lamp, oil lamp, in the evenings. My dad actually learned to read underneath an oil lamp when he was a child. And we still have the oil lamp that my father grew up with in our collection. But these are definitely a prepper item for when there is a power outage or you're living off grid. So never pass up an oil lamp if you can find one that is in decent condition. Now this one is a really, really old oil lamp. I'm going to get a new burner for it. Of course, they're all going to get cleaned because they're very dirty. But I got several of these, plus a box full of the globes. I'm super excited because the globes are getting harder and harder to find. How much did we pay for these? We paid $40 and we got 10 oil lamps. Unbelievable. So you see this one. It's quite weighty, not easy to tip over. And you can't even see the whole lamp. So I'll pull it back. Just excited. The globes are really clean. The bases really need to be cleaned. And I'm just going to go through here and slowly slide these around because I don't want to drop them. Some of the globes are the frosted globes. And just beautiful little oil lamps. This one has a little bit of a frost to it. Just beautiful bases. They're different heights, but that's okay. This one is an amber colored oil lamp. I'm going to set it back over here because I'm running out of space. And this one is another very old oil lamp. There it is. You can see the whole thing. Let me switch things around. And this one has an amber base to it. And I've got globes for these as well. Now, these little ones, I'm not sure if I have a globe or not for these really little tiny pieces, but there's another one. These smaller ones would be for bed chambers, and they would use these to go to the bathroom if they needed to go, or go get a drink of water, whatever. During the night, it would be on their nightstand. And so I got 3 of those. Some of these still have oil in them. I couldn't believe she stored them in an attic with oil in them, but she did. And she also threw in a beautiful little bud vase. And then I've got globes in the box. So I'm going to move all of this and be back to show you all of the globes that came with this lot. Unbelievable bargain of the year for me. So there are actually 15 globes that came with this lot. Y'all, some of these really need to be washed. I'm not going to lie to you, but we got several of these that are frosted. These 2 are alike. Then we have 2 smaller versions of that same globe. And they're different sizes. Can y'all tell the difference? There's a little bit difference in the size of the globe base. And then we got 3 of these. One of them is on one of my lamps. Got a couple of them that are fluted. Really dirty, y'all. Then we got several of these that are on my lamps that have the little decorative edging on the top. And then I got another one of these that are smaller based. So all in all, I think we did really, really well. I'm going to get those lamps cleaned up and find a place in my home to display them. We have oil lamps we have collected over the years, my husband and I, and he knows how much they mean to me personally because of my mom and dad's story. But it is a great prepper item to add to your prepper collection as well. And as a homesteader, you never know when that power is going to go out and you're going to need one of these lamps to light the way in a dark room. Let me know in comments what your favorite items were from today's thrifty, fun, Frugal Living Challenge 25 haul. I'd love to hear from you. And if you found any great items in your shopping experiences, let me know in comments. Hey friends, thank you so much for watching my channel. Thank you for the many comments, the likes, the friendships, and for sharing this content out. Take a moment and watch all of the advertisements because that is how I get monetized and get paid. I appreciate each and every one of you for your time and your patience. And y'all, I have this special content over here I think you might like.